Greetings. I feel like it's been a long time since I've been on YouTube, and I apologize. I have neglected my channel. I have gotten a lot of messages from a lot of subscribers and a lot of friends on Facebook who were concerned, sending me messages and wanted to make sure I was okay. And I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. I don't know that most of you probably missed me too much here on YouTube since I haven't been that regular. But Facebook, I guess, Facebook, I'm usually a little more active on Facebook. So anyway, thank you very much for your concern. I'm okay. We're okay. We did have a traumatic experience. I don't want to go into a lot of detail. I do want to share a little bit of it with you because I think it's a great learning experience what happened to us. I don't want that to happen to anybody. We had, I think most of you know that we have a young golden retriever, Louie, who is not quite 2, and we used to have a second golden retriever, Finn, who passed away last summer, who is quite old. And Louie was with Finn when he passed, and Louie has been very depressed, really depressed since Finn died. And we've been boarding dogs. We've been taking dogs, you know, from time to time, boarding them, hoping that that would help Louie, you know, having somebody to play with. But it seemed to get worse, that he loved it when they were here, but then when they left, he would be sad again. He would be really sad. So we determined to get another dog. And we tried to go the rescue route for a while, and it was just so complicated. It's really difficult sometimes to try to work with some rescue groups. It's hard, you know. You have to pass a lot of tests, and every time we kept finding a dog that we thought we wanted, the dog was gone before we even got a chance, and it was a little hard. Anyway, just in a whim, we decided let's look for a puppy, see if we can, from a breeder, maybe even a rehoming, dog that needed rehoming from a breeder. And we found what we thought. We found a puppy, and I don't want to go into a lot of detail, but the people really tricked us in a lot of ways. It was far, the puppy was a ways away that we had to drive far to get to. They showed us pictures of the parents, they showed us pictures of them, they showed us pictures of the puppy, they showed us video, they showed all kinds of things. They answered every question that we needed, that we asked about the puppy. They had the right answer. Foolishly, we gave them some money. We gave them a lot of money, sight unseen, and made arrangements to go pick up the puppy. And when we finally did get there, trying to get there to pick up the puppy, the trouble began. They started to try to get us to meet. They wanted us to meet not at home, but off-site somewhere, and then they were late, and then it wasn't even the people that we had been talking to, and the puppy was tiny. It wasn't the puppy that was shown to us, and everything was wrong. Anyway, long story short, it was clear that we weren't going to get money back from these people, and it was clear that they had this puppy that really was in need. So we took the puppy, and they had even said, you know, they even seemed to know the law that they had to, if they would be liable for vet bills if there's anything wrong, etc. Well, we took the puppy, and long story short, the puppy, after going to the regular vet and then taking us to the emergency hospital, an overnight emergency hospital, we were notified at 2 a.m. in the morning, 2 days later, that the puppy could not be saved. So we had just spent a lot more money on this puppy, a lot of money. 2 people, we would never see money again, and on top of it, the puppy was deceased. We didn't have a puppy, and it was just very traumatic. Of course it was traumatic. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is everything that was happening, as it was happening, we made the wrong decision. My husband and I made the wrong decision, or maybe we made the right one, I'm not sure. But we did things that we should never have done, giving money where we hadn't seen the puppy, and etc. I mean, these kind of things. But one thing that really struck us later, I mean, I do want to say, we were both very happy with the decision to take the puppy and to try to save the puppy. And the money that we spent at the emergency hospital for the puppy, I'm happy to have done that. I can't really afford it, you know, but the puppy deserved a chance, and we were the only chance that puppy had. Unfortunately, it was not good enough. But so that's not the part that bothered me so much. What bothered me sort of afterwards was, while we were sitting waiting for these people to bring the puppy to us, we both were getting the feeling, you know, that this wasn't right. And, you know, we all get those kind of feelings. And, you know, I'm an empath. And as an empath, I really get them very strongly. And I had it. I was almost sick in my stomach about it. I knew it was something wrong. But I decided to go ahead with it anyway. We have a free will, and our will is our way. Our will is our way. Whatever we decide to do, our will is our way. And I was thinking, you know, maybe this is a really good opportunity for a video, other than to warn people about these kind of people. And by the way, we're following it up. We did get it. I didn't even tell you the happy ending. I'm so sorry. We did find another puppy, and this puppy is very healthy, and his name is Bayan, and he is, what, 12 weeks old now, or 12 or 13 weeks old, I'm not sure. And Louis loves him, and he loves Louis, and I will show you him. I'll post some pictures. So we do have a very happy ending for everybody, but for Louis and for us. But I still thought, you know, this experience was really eating away at me, because I knew what to do and what not to do, and I did anyway. Why do we do that? Our will is our way. We know if we eat the candy at Halloween out of our children's Halloween trick-or-treat bags, that it's not going to do any good for us, but we do it anyway. Our will is our way, right? We do that to ourselves all the time. As witches, it means something totally different to us as witches than it does to just your normal average person, I think. I was watching one of my favorite witches of all time, Alvine. I don't know if you know her. If you do not know her, please look her up. I think her channel's just maybe called that, I'm not sure. But I'll try to link it if I remember. What a beautiful young woman, and a very, very wise woman for her age. She was doing a little, we do, now that the winter's over, my husband and I, rather than sitting and having our tea and breakfast even in front of the fire in the kitchen, oftentimes go out on the sun porch and have our breakfast out there. And sometimes this is when we turn on the TV to watch the YouTube, try to catch up with some YouTube things. And one of the things that I was watching a couple, and I started to notice that some people were talking again about, oh, what kind of a witch are you? Are you, And I'm thinking, here we go again. We're going to go again and about this criticizing people, what kind of witches they are, whether they do magic or whatever they do not. And it was just getting a little heavy for me, so I went over to Alvine and I just started watching some of hers. And I'm not even sure if this is a new video or a very old video that just came up in my feed, because I just sort of let it go. But she was doing a tag video, and one of the questions that she was answering was, how long, when did you decide How long have you been a witch? How long have you been a witch? That's it. And she was quoting somebody else, I think, that she said she liked their answer. She was going to use that for hers and said, I became a witch the day I decided I was a witch. Ooh, the day I decided I was a witch. And I love that, because isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? You know, if you have the time or the patience or whatever, go back to my very, very earliest videos. I'm not sure how many years ago that was. But I tried to explain my path to you at that time about how I had started out a Presbyterian, whatever, and then I became a Catholic, and then I ultimately became a pagan. But I was trying to tell you along the way, I didn't really change a path. I didn't change. I just kept going forward until I became what I am. I think it's one path, and I think I explained that in my earliest video. If you can stand the video, I'm sure it's very awkward. It took me a long time to get used to talking on camera. But anyway, what I was trying to say was, I was thinking about this, and I know I have answered some of these tags myself in the past. How long have you been with? I don't know. You know, I used to answer it in terms of, I knew when I made a Book of Shadows. I think when you make your first Book of Shadows, maybe, you can say for sure, you know, I think I must be a witch, because not many people have a Book of Shadows that do not identify as being a witch. At least I didn't think so. And I think we made the Book of Shadows, I think we tried to date that, my husband and I, at one time. And we think it was maybe 2003. 2003 or 4, I believe. It could have been 5 or 5. Right in the very early 2000 something. No later than 5, but it was in there. So how many years that is, I don't know. But anyway, that's the first date I can put on my own path, when my path was labeled, instead of being labeled Presbyterian or labeled Catholic or labeled whatever, it was labeled, to me, pagan. And to me, not just pagan, but witch, because I made a Book of Shadows. So I thought that was a brilliant answer, that whoever it was, that it was Albine Zanzer or somebody else, the day you decide to become a witch, you're a witch. Now, as far as all this other garbage on YouTube, I don't see it. You know, I really don't see it. I am so out of touch. I think I'm out of touch. I don't see these kind of videos. And I thought, why don't I see this stuff? Well, I looked down at my subscribing list, the people I subscribe to, and most of the people I subscribe to, I have to tell you, most of those people, the ones that are in the pagan community, I have other kinds of interests, but the ones that are in the pagan community, a lot of those do not do videos anymore. Or I don't even know if they ever did. I don't even know how some of them I got. I don't even know how I got some of them. So I thought, you know, I need to go and unsubscribe to some of those people that don't even make videos for how many years, and then maybe get some new subscriptions. So if you have a channel that you think I would like, leave it in the comments, and I would really like it if you, or somebody recommend me a channel, so maybe I can get in the loop. I feel like I'm really left out of things. I do. Because I'd like to know what people are talking about, right? Anyway, the reason I picked the word decide, yeah, it's not just about decisions. It's not just about decisions. It's not just about even the decision to become a witch. But what does the word decide have to do with being a witch? It has everything to do with being a witch. Everything to do. If you are the kind of witch who does perform magic, who does perform spells. Now, I guess it's possible, and it seems to be possible according to some of the comments made about what's going on YouTube right now, that there are some witches who do not identify as practicing magic. And as a matter of fact, I believe I have a few personal friends who I know as pagan. One particularly who identifies as being a witch. She calls herself a witch, tells everybody she's a witch. I know she's pagan, and I know she celebrates the Sabbaths. But maybe just some of them. I think she does just some of them. But anyway, I don't think she does spell work. I don't think she does spell work. So for her, it's more of a religion. And I think that's possible, that people just have it as their religion and their spiritual, it makes sense to them spiritually. They like the connection they have with the earth. They like the connection they have with the wheel of the year. They like the connection maybe they have with the god and the goddess. But they don't necessarily do anything about it. They don't do anything practice magic. But anybody else, any person who has decided they are a witch, and to me, a person who's a witch really, I guess you could be a witch and not practice, but you cannot say you practice witchcraft if you do not do spell work. Because isn't that what witchcraft is? Witchcraft having to do with what you're doing, making. If you do that, the word decide means everything to you, because decide is the way of the will. When we perform a spell, and I talked about this on an earlier video, and I don't want to make people mad, because I kind of made people mad the last time I said it. And I listened to your comments, but I still stand by it, what I said. A prayer and a spell are not the same thing. It does not mean that you can put your full intention into a prayer. It does not mean that you can put your wishing or your hoping into a spell. But to be effective, let's be honest, if you're just wishing for something to happen, oh, I hope it happens. I'm going to pray to God that it happens. We've all been there, right? We've all been there. What do witches do when they want something to happen? When they really, really must have it happen, what do? They do a spell. They put their desire into the spell and they decide that they will have what they desire. They decide it. Think of the words that we use. Remember when we put our intention, think of the words that we use. Now, yes, I've also said that as witches, we combine our power, our personal power, with the power of the elements, yes, right? With the powers of the god and goddess, right? Yes, we do. Most of us combine those powers. Combine those powers. We add extra things for good measure. We might do color, doing things, color vibrations. Some colors vibrate at different things, or crystals, or incense, special incenses, whatever kind of tools that we have at hand, just like the magician card, right? Using all the tools you have at hand, why wouldn't you? If you really desire for something to happen, if you really decide something will happen, you pull that out of stops. So we use any tool that we think is going to happen, that will help. But when it comes down to it, we have all said, haven't we, that you don't have to use any tool at all. You can use your hands. You can use a stick. Some people, some witches say that they really don't put words into it. Their intention is all in their head. But what is that intention? It is a decision. I decide this will be. What do we say? So mote it be. So may it be. It may be. Not so may it probably be. So may I hope it bees. Hope it is. Right? So might mote it be. So mote it be. It will be. It will be. In the words that we say, whether we say them aloud, whether they're a rhyme, whether they're a chant, whether they're just are our intention in simple words, whether we think it, whether we just feel it, send out the energy, right? Raise the energy, make something happen. make something happen. Decide it will happen. I think the word decide is really what we're talking about when we're talking about spell work, and I really love it. And I think if we think about the word, you know, the power that words have, the power that our will has, the way of the will, the way of the will. Every this is a very common concept in a lot of other religions. I think as a young Protestant girl, I even wrote down a quote somebody made, guard your thoughts, you know, the whole, there's some kind of a saying, guard your thoughts because your thoughts become ideas, you know, whatever. The idea is, once it starts in here, you can be careful to think it because you ultimately will speak it. And once you ultimately speak it, it ultimately will happen. Right? They say that people do that all the time. Visualize what it is you want. If you can see it happen, it can happen. I find if you can see it happen, if you see it happening, it's going to probably happen. And I don't know, there's a couple ways that I can make an example of that. I don't know if that's what I want to share with you or not. But I can say that as a child, some of the things that I feared most are the things that really happened to me. Some of the things I feared most about what I would become, I have become. And with good outcome, because to me, I find that it's not so much to fear anymore. I become it. It doesn't happen. I'm okay. I'm okay. So maybe that's why. But I do know the power of our thoughts is strong anyway, without putting words to it. Once you put words to something, you know, it's real. It's real. So think about it. Decide. Decide. If you have decided to become a witch, you're going to decide, of course, what kind of witch you're going to be, of course, and that's your business. But most importantly, whether you do spell work or not, the word decide plays an important part in your life. Right? It's gonna play an important part in your life because it tells you the way of your will, right? How you will seek, how you will be given what you seek. Anyway, just a little bit of food for thought. I'm happy to be back. You're going to see me again in a few minutes if you stay tuned, because I'm going to do another little short video because I have, I wanted to say, as a result of my of our issue with the little puppy and the horrific medical bills that we got as a result, not to mention what we had to spend for the puppy. Yeah, I realize it is entirely my fault, and I'm not asking anybody to help me, but I do want to say, recovering, coming back from this, I have gone to my website. When I'm trying to come back to YouTube, I'm trying to get back on Facebook, trying to get back to my blogging on birdandthecrone.com and catch up on there, and then over in the Good Wife's Garden. I'm very behind in my blogging, and I'm also was horrified to see how behind in my on my website I was. So I'm really attempting to try to get that up and running a little bit more. And I put up some things, and this is a perfect time. If you had thought, excuse me, excuse me. If you had been thinking ever of having me do a reading for you or buying anything from my website or whatever, this would be a perfect time for you to go and look and see what I have. Please come back often, because over the next several weeks you're going to see a lot more things added up there. But this is a perfect time if you want to do anything like that, to do it, because I'm trying to raise some money to help. We're just getting back on our feet, you know, after our business failed, and we're getting adjusted to our new limited income, and we were so proud of ourselves and doing so well, and I'm afraid that we're back at square one here a little bit. So I just need a little bit of it'd be a perfect time. I'm just saying, you know, timing is everything. It would be perfect if you want to schedule a reading or something like that. Please give me a visit over on the website, and stay tuned, because I'm going to put it up separately. Because I don't want to clutter where I post this video. I don't want to clutter that page with anything about my website really. So anyway, I'm going to explain what I have done, what I have new coming, what I have new up, and what I have new coming. So if you're interested and you think you can help me out a little bit, please stay tuned for the next video. And I hope to see you again soon. I'm really, again, apologize if I made anybody worry. And thank you for concern, and thank you for all your best wishes, everyone. And thank you very much for coming to my channel. As always, I'm Rebecca, and I wish you blessings.